Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mobby, and with the recent release of the English version for ST13, I'm going to be doing a little deck profile series where I'm going to be giving you my personal cooks, the ones I've been using for all three leaders. Today it's going to start with Ace, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll be talking about the utility, the events, the 2Ks, the blockers, the attackers, the overall game plan, and weakness. So let's go ahead and get started with the leader. So this is Ace, pretty good. This is a blue-yellow leader, 5,000 power, 4 health, Whitebeard Pirates. His ability is you put 2 Dawn on him, and then you activate once per turn. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 5-cost character to the top of your life, then place the remaining at the bottom of your deck in any order. At the end of your turn, trash all face-up cards in your life. So the overall goal of this deck is to use those top 5 to get very specific 5 costs. You want in this particular deck, we're looking for Ace cards and Luffy cards. However, there are a couple of extra 5 costs in here that you can use as well. But yeah, at the end of your turn, you trash them all. But luckily, with some cards we have in here, it might not be a problem. So some turns you will just, be able to heal, which is very nice. So yeah, it's kind of like a roulette thingy. Alright, so moving on to the attackers. Alright, we're starting off with 5 cost aces. These are from the new ST13 as well. On play, if you have 2 or less life, this character gains rush, 5 cost, 7,000 power, running 4 of these aces. Next up, it's going to be these ST13 Luffys as well. 561. Activate once per turn. This character gains 2,000 until the start of your next turn. Then, if you have 1 or more life, draw 1 and trash 1. So this one works really well with Luffy. Yeah. This leader works really well with Luffy. If you are not able, if you have this guy in the field and you go ahead and ramp 1 life up, but you're not able to summon it, you can just at least do this. So that kind of works out. So here we go. 4 of these. And then we have some Luffys from OP07. This is 561. Activate main. You may place this character in your trash. If your life is 2 or less, KO up to one of your opponent's costs, 4 or less, then draw a card. So you typically don't want to be trashing stuff, but this is a nice card because it does have a counter, it does have a trigger, and if you really need to KO something, this guy can attack, and then you can at least trash it. So this is just another consistent Luffy that you could be picking up here. So here we are. So there's 8 Luffys and 8 aces in the deck, just so you guys know. Alright, so this is from OP08. We're going to be testing this one out. I went ahead and translated this and, shopped it up and proxied this one myself. This is 671. On play, you may return one of your characters other than this to your hand, and then you return up to 1 cost 6 or lower character to the original owner's hand. So at the very most, this is just a 6/7 card with counter, which isn't too bad. But the on play of returning one of your characters to your hand, there are about I would say 8 or so targets in this deck where sending stuff back to your hand actually does matter, and I will talk about this in a little bit. So we're running 2 of these to try them out, and then we're going to be running 2 Boa Hancocks from OP07. This is a 6/8 on play. Up to one of your opponent's characters other than Luffy cannot attack until the end of their next turn. Then place up to 1 cost less character to the bottom of the deck. So this one's really good for stalling a little bit. These 2 are essentially your late game cards. This deck is all about running mid, going fast as possible. So this one allows you to bring back some of your 2Ks or your utilities if you need to, and then this one will help you late game. Alright, so those are the attackers of the deck. 8 Luffys, 8 aces, the other ones are over here. But yeah, basically we're running an ace Luffy deck. Alright, next up we're going to go to the defenders, the blockers, and this is where the other aces are. Alright, so we have some EB01 Viola, 201 blocker. However, on play, choose one of the following. look at your opponent's life or turn them in any order. It's pretty good, but you primarily want to use it for the second effect, which is turn all of your life cards face down. If you can recall here, the leader's ability, you grab 1/5 cost, put it face up, but at the end of your turn, if it's still face up, you trash it. Luckily, you can use this, and if you don't hit anything good that you use with one of your other utility cards, but you still want to go ahead and heal, you can use this to heal. So basically, you're going to spend 4 Dawn to put this on the leader, attack for 7, heal up, and then place it face down, so you always heal no matter what. And it really doesn't matter if you throw like this ace on there or this Luffy on there and it doesn't trigger. You know, it's a life is a life, you know. So this is really good. It's also a blocker. I'm running 4 of these. Next up, it's the Portgas, the ace cards from OP07, 561 blocker. On play, draw 2 cards, then return 2 from the top of your hand to the bottom of your deck into any order. So it's pretty nice. You can draw 2, and then if you don't get what you need for the upcoming roulette later, you can go ahead and put it to the bottom of the deck. But it's a pretty powerful blocker, so there you go. These are the blockers. There are the last 4 aces in the deck. Now, let's move on to 2K counters, running 8 in this deck. This is Kozuki Hiyori. So 2/02. On play, put the top or bottom card of your life pile into your hand to put up to 1 card from your hand on the top of your life stack. Once again, very good with the leader. The leader grabs a top face, a face-up card that you want to get rid of. So this one allows you to grab that top and then replace it with anything that you want. You can even put like events or just any other 2K counters that you want up there with triggers. So it's really good, really good for healing. So basically your Violas and Kozuki Hiyoris are the big things to help you if you kind of miss and you're not able to draw the specific ace or the specific Luffy that you want at that particular time. But it also combos with Satori. This is a 5 cost card, 5/5/2 trigger, trash 1 to play this card. You know, you can just play this vanilla. It's really good in yellow, but it's really good in this deck because this is another target for the ace card. If you could just grab this and put it on top, flip it down, you got a free trigger, baby. So yeah, it's really good. So you have a lot of targets, a pretty good amount of targets for this thingy. If there's 8/8, that's 16. 8/8 plus this one here. So you have a good amount of stuff. All right. So those are your 2Ks. Now for the events. I'm running 4 of these Sanji peel-offs, which is drawing 2 cards. So I primarily want it for the trigger, but if you're able to activate it during your turn, well, it's kind of safe, do so. The reason being, it's because you really need specific cards in this deck, and just drawing a lot makes everything better. You really need all your utility, and you know, you can grab these as well. So these are really good. They're a little slow, but if you get it to work, it works. And late game, to help you go for late game or just remove a lot of big threats, we're running 2 of these Gravity Blade Raging Tigers from OP06. So basically, place up to 2 characters that cost 6 or less to the bottom of their deck in any order. Very freaking powerful, extremely good. And the trigger is place up to 1/5 to the bottom of the deck. You can remove so many blockers up in this. All right. Now, moving on to the utilities, we have 12 in here, that's right. Starting with 4 Monkey D. Garps, 1/1. On play, look at the top 5 cards, reveal up to 1 Sabo, Ace, or Luffy with 5 or less. Every Ace and Luffy in this deck is 5 or less, so you can grab the little guys, which enables you to do the combos, or you can grab these big ones if you already have the little guys in place. And yes, this is one of the cards that you want to actually activate with Jozu. So Jozu, where the hell are you, Jozu? He's over here somewhere. Jozu. So a lot of the times your searchers will just be on the field and they don't do much. But if you happen to have a Garp late game, you activate him and you want to search even more, you Jozu to return something back to your hand. So in this deck, you want to return Violas as a low priority, and for a high priority, you want to do Kozuki Hiyori, and you want to do Garp. So these ones are your return back to your hands if you need to, and if you really absolutely need to, you can go ahead and send back one of the little guys back to your hand, you know, to keep them safe or just to activate his trigger. So this is what we're running. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, because this is so useless after you put it on the field. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so you're running these Garps. Now we're gonna be running these aces. You may trash this character. Look at the top of your card. If it's a 5-cost ace, and remember, you have this ace, and you have this ace. So basically, you want to combo these together. So you trash this, your leader gets 2,000 until the end of your opponent's turn, which is so good. So you get 2,000. So basically, usually what's gonna be happening is you're gonna be searching by putting 2 Dawn on him, which equals 7,000 power. Then if you're able to hit either the Ace or the Luffy correctly, you're gonna end up with 9,000 to attack that turn and 7,000 for defending, which is very strong. So yeah, you want these two. So you want the rusher or the blocker. Really nice. So running 4 of these. And of course, the Luffy's. It's the exact same thing as the Ace, except you're looking for the Luffy cards, which is these 2 here. This one and this one. Very good Luffy cards to grab. So I think primarily, like, your biggest thing is you want to get out these Luffy. This one first. This one's a maybe, but then you definitely want to get the blocker, Ace, and then you want late game once you have a lot less life, because remember the thing doesn't even trigger. Your rush doesn't trigger unless you have 5 or less. I mean, sorry, 2 or less in your life. So there you go. So yeah, that's all that this deck's all about. You know, it's all about trying to hopefully get these. You want to start mulliganing and grabbing these guys. You just need at least 1 or 2. If you can have 2 in your hand, even if it's 2 of the same ones, you've hit gold. But if you can't get anything, if you have 2 Garps in your hand at mulligan, I say you keep 2 Garps instead. But if you get one of these, go for it. And basically, you want to, every single turn, you're going to want to just keep searching and searching. And remember, if you can't find them late game, don't worry. You know, you can still heal by Kozuki Hyorying, or using Viola to turn it down and healing. And as a little bit of FU to the opponent, you do have a couple of really good triggers on the Gravity Blade, the Peel Off to search through. You have the Satori's and your backup Luffy. Because the Luffy one's really good because it's just a trigger. This one you have to trash itself, but then this one is you just KO something off the field. So this is it. This is the currently the Ace deck I'm running, and I know some of you guys might be looking at this from like, oh, ST13 just launched, but I'm running OP. You know, I'm running EB01, OP07, OP08. That's just the benefit of playing with proxies and having friends who also play with proxies, so you can play with anything you want. But if you're looking for a very specific, just ST13 and only OP06 stuff, there's a couple of lists out there, but honestly, it's pretty weak because you don't have like the later aces, so you're gonna be running just like really small. Like this you absolutely need this for the deck to run really smooth, and this doesn't come out for a while in English. But yeah, this is just exactly what I'm running. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching a lot. This has been really fun. The next episode will be, by the way, if you're wondering, it'll be the Luffy. It'll be the sorry, I have the Sabo deck slated, and then we're gonna do the Luffy deck for last. So yes, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.